Welcome to Coffee and Regs.
Today, we want to talk about the mood of compliance. We've been talking about that internally here and what we're hearing, what we're seeing, and we thought we would share our vision. So lots to talk about. There's an undercurrent and certainly a big buzz in our compliance world. So what we're thinking is our current mood from a compliance perspective is watchful, attentive, cautious, circumspect for sure, and concerned. Overall, much has been published about expectations for this year and for next year, and they all point to heavy regulatory activity. And lots of changes have unfolded. The new Biden administration driving priorities, a new SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, who took office just April 17th of this year. Gerber Grual, the new SEC's Division of Enforcement, and he's been in place since July 26th. Gruel was formerly New York Attorney General. And we have a new acting director of examinations, Dan Call, following Pete Driscoll's departure. And there are many, many priorities ahead, which we're going to talk about here and what we're hearing and thinking and feeling. So they're about resources and crypto and ESG and whistleblowers and enforcement and lots of other things. And remember, this is important. The SEC's fiscal year ends on September 30th. Just a short while away. And historically, we see a big push on enforcement as their fiscal year comes to a close. So Adam, what are you hearing?
Yeah, Jackie, that's right. Just talking about resources, I think with Gensler at the helm, we're going to see a big push for more resources going towards the SEC. Among the priorities that you've just laid out, I think that they're going to be a better resource organization with more teeth under Gensler. So Gensler said that he has SEC staff working, fewer staff working today than he had even 5 years ago. So he wants to make sure that the commission has enough resources to actually protect investors. So he's been making a big push towards Congress to get additional resources to keep the SEC ahead of the trends that they're trying to really stay on top of. So I think in Gensler's view, as the markets have grown, the SEC hasn't grown with it. So it's not a modern 2020s organization. The SEC's formal budget request that he submitted in June does reflect 5 of the key capital market trends that he's got his finger on that are going to affect the SEC's needs going forward. And I think Gensler described in his testimony in front of the Appropriations Committee that some of these things were initial public offerings and SPACs. So there's a really big interest in the special purpose acquisition companies. We can expect a lot of enforcement scrutiny. So there have been published alerts and a lot of concerns really just around the SPAC space. It's very hot right now in the market. And then private funds and crypto assets and fintech, we're going to see a big push around cyber assets, and then also data analytics. Jackie, one of the things that I'm kind of interested in, the whistleblower program that I think you mentioned, what are we going to see in that arena?
Wow. Well, whistleblower program has been front and center for quite a while. We keep seeing press releases about it, but Gensler just commented yesterday that he was talking about the whistleblower program in depth, and he said that he believes deeply in the whistleblower program. And I guess that's no surprise here, as this program has been really important to the SEC and Congress. But he asked the staff to examine whether and how the whistleblower program could be further strengthened to ensure that misconduct is identified, addressed, and stopped. And this includes reduction in processing times around SEC whistleblower award determinations. In his July 3rd comments, he said, "We at the SEC must ensure that whistleblowers are empowered to come forward when they see misbehavior, that they are appropriately compensated according to the framework established by Congress, and that those who report wrongdoing are protected from retaliation." So these are kind of the fundamental principles, and he's certainly these are really important to him. And then 2 days ago, so this is all very recent, on August 2nd, he announced that the SEC staff is considering whether the rules should be revised to permit the commission to make awards for related actions that might otherwise be covered by an alternative whistleblower program, such as something in another country that is not comparable to the SEC's own program, and to clarify that the commission will not lower an award based on its dollar amount. So these things are really adding up to, I think, somewhat of a tough environment, and that we've all been sort of anticipating. So one law firm, Cooley, published a really great white paper on sort of what to expect from this administration and from Gensler. And one of the things they cited in their document was the pace of recent activity suggests that the SEC may soon surpass total whistleblower awards of $1 billion since issuing its first award in 2012. So it's really pretty active, very important to Congress and to the SEC. So, and then back to crypto, like you were saying on this subject yesterday, again, he said, we just don't have enough investor protection in crypto. And frankly, at this time, it's more like he refers to it as the Wild West. And the law firm Jones and Day commented in their publication that the SEC chairman is widely expected to be a friend to the cryptocurrency world. Not only is he an expert in the field, they say, but he understands the underlying technology and the nuances that permeate the abuse in the industry. And then thinking also, it's not just these big programs, but it's small steps. Small steps can be very important, and they build many of them together. So for example, they announced a settlement about Form CRS cases just recently. And so we think about that in terms of what other small steps and how many of them are yet to come. So in that announcement, the SEC announced settlements and fines against 21 investment advisor firms and 6 broker-dealers over filing Form CRS filings late and delivering them late. And some of those penalties were as high as $97,500. So a lot of happening there.
This has been another episode of Coffee and Regs.